Ding dong! Friday's at the door, and even though it's keeping its social distance, it's still delivering awesome. I'm Carl Azus, delivering your Friday edition of CNN 10. We're starting at the grocery store, and we're going to need some extra cash. In the month of April, the price of groceries grew 2.6% according to the U.S. Labor Department. So if a family spent $1,000 on groceries in March, they would have needed an extra $26 for those same groceries in April. The 2.6% increase was the biggest jump from one month to the next since 1974. You can guess why this happened. It's another side effect, really a series of them, to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. When restaurants shut down and businesses closed, more Americans started cooking at home, so demand for groceries went up. But then, many food producers and farmers had trouble quickly shifting their deliveries from those restaurants to grocery stores. It's a very complex process. And there have been outbreaks of COVID-19 at some food processing plants, forcing some of them to shut down. So there's this perfect storm of increased demand, jarring changes in delivery, and reduced supply. But on top of all that, some shoppers started panic buying, picking up lots of food that they didn't plan to eat right away. So to keep certain groceries in stock, stores put limits on the amounts people could buy. They've also raised prices to discourage people from buying so much and to recover some of the extra money they've had to pay to suppliers. Meat, eggs, bread, cereal, soup, soda, fruit, and coffee all went up in April. Some prices went down though. Ham, breakfast sausage, butter, prepared salads, and cupcakes got cheaper. As stores and shoppers made adjustments to the ways they responded to all this, technology has found some fascinating new roles in this changed way of life.
From space, where satellites are recording the impact of the virus on human movement, to phone apps meant to trace the contacts of infected people, to the quest for a cure, scientists and engineers are fighting COVID-19 at every turn. And for celebrity scientist Bill Nye, that's a good sign.
We absolutely have the science and technology to address this virus.
But there are big challenges. First, figuring out what really works. Remote temperature sensors, for example, have become all the rage to try and spot virus carriers. A leading manufacturer, FLIR, reports $100 million worth of new orders, even though the company explicitly says its product is not really intended to detect people with the virus. Second, focus. Public health experts fear all the scattered efforts to bring science and technology to bear will be significantly diminished if they are not coordinated with overarching plans for testing, tracing, and treatment.
You can't address a virus that can cross state borders at the speed of the wind without having a national or indeed international program.
And third, time. For all the promises science offers, no large-scale solutions are expected quickly, especially when it comes to a vaccine. At best, it might be months, just as likely.
It's 2 years, everybody. 2 years before a vaccine.
Even with all the technology we have now.
Yeah, I think 2 years to get something that people trust.
Until then, the research, the waiting, and the robot war on COVID-19 will go on.
Gatherings at this park are not allowed.
10-second trivia. What country has the smallest population in Central America? El Salvador, Belize, Panama, or Costa Rica? Though El Salvador is smaller in land area, Belize has the smallest population in the region. It's fewer than 400,000 people, according to the CIA World Factbook, while El Salvador's population is 6.5 million. And though Belize's struggles include poverty and unemployment, its small economy benefits tremendously from tourism. Because it's the next stop in our ongoing series of virtual vacations, you're about to see why.
The Central American nation of Belize is only about the size of Massachusetts, but it packs a powerful punch for travelers seeking adventure or relaxation.
Belize is easy to visit for a bunch of reasons. First is the language. It's a former British colony, so English is the official language and everybody speaks it. Also, the money is really easy. Everybody accepts US dollars down there. Belize is rich in really a lot of natural attractions, and it's very easy to get between them, either by driving, plane, or boat.
A drive along the Hummingbird Highway stretching from the coastal town of Dangriga to the capital Belmopan gives visitors a glimpse of the country's varied landscapes. You could make the drive in just over an hour, but there's so much to see along the way. Why rush?
The Hummingbird Highway is one of the most picturesque roads in Belize. It runs over jungle mountains, down into valleys that are covered with citrus orchards. It has some spectacular scenery.
As the sun rises in Dangriga near the southern end of the highway, fishermen cast their nets, collecting bait for the day. Traveling northwest on the Hummingbird, a stop at Marie Sharp's hot sauce factory will wake up your taste buds. Marie Sharp started making hot sauce in her kitchen when she found she had grown more peppers than she knew what to do with. Now she has a factory that will process 1 million pounds of peppers from local farms this year. Just up the road, you can check out Billy Barkadeer National Park. The park is managed in part by a grassroots community organization, and the protected area supplies local communities with potable water. For the tourist, it offers hiking trails and a beautiful spot for a refreshing dip. Now that you've worked up an appetite, grab a quick and tasty lunch at Ms. Bertha's. Ms. Bertha Lisby has been making and selling tamales for decades, and she's certainly perfected the art. After lunch, you can dive into St. Herman's Blue Hole National Park.
Some of the great attractions at Blue Hole includes over 298 species of birds. There is the green jungle that is abound. It's everywhere. And then the accessibility. It's right along one of the main highways of Belize, and it's only a 15-minute drive from the capital of Belize, Belmopan.
For explorers, the park includes an opportunity to check out St. Herman's Cave.
Within the cave, there's a lot of remains of the Mayans. There's still some bones, pottery shards still left in there dating back a couple thousand years ago.
Take a dip in the Blue Hole, a 25-foot deep cenote, or sinkhole, formed when a limestone cave collapsed.
The water is always refreshing. The temperature always stays the same and so nice to swim. After a long day of hiking, why not take a jump into the Blue Hole?
Another option, cave tubing, a popular activity in Belize and a great combo of adventure and relaxation. Until your next stop on the Hummingbird Highway. For CNN, I'm Holly Furfer.
It looks like a remote-controlled dune buggy, but this little vehicle has a unique way of getting out of a jam. Its legs, so to speak, can spin, lift, and wiggle, and that could prevent it from getting stuck in sand. So what? Well, NASA had a $400 million Mars rover named Spirit, but its mission ended in 2009 after its wheels got stuck in soft soil. So lessons learned from this mini rover could help prevent that in the future. So when it comes to troubleshooting, that's one way to plan it. Even if it gets soiled and starts seeing red, it should still be able to get over it. And that's a really cool way to ditch the dirt and stay at work without going Marsing in action. Woo! All right, Deep Run High School is watching today. Gotta say hello to our viewers in Glen Allen, Virginia. I'm Carl Azus. Have a great weekend from all of us here at CNN.